The Steelers have a chance to be in first place eventually in the AFC North because they pulled off an unlikely win over the Titans after that deflating and heartbreaking loss to the Vikings, down 29-0, coming back and almost forcing overtime. They dig out of a hole against Tennessee, and it's just one of those grinded-out Pittsburgh Steeler victories. There's no one who really stood out other than T.J. Watt, because he always does. But, it wasn't some dramatic offensive performance. It was just opportunistic, creating turnovers, forcing the other team to make mistakes at Heinz Field with the towels waving and Renegade playing. It's just, that's Steelers football. I don't care how many points you're favored to win by. You show up in Pittsburgh any given day, regardless of who they have healthy and available, there's a chance you're still going to lose.
Oh, listen, I agree. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers had 168 yards of total offense. They weren't moving the ball. But defensively, they have 4 sacks, 5 fumbles for Tennessee. They lose 3 of them. Tennessee has an interception as well. So, yeah, I mean, it was Pittsburgh taking advantage of those opportunities. They sure like having Joe Haden back, who missed the last month. Haden made that great tackle on the 4th down, and the spot was unbelievably a gift spot that was made it almost a first down that would have been completely overturned by review. But a nice play by Haden, after missing a month. So, good, tough. And listen, this is what you expect out of the Steelers. Good, tough defense. That's how they play. You'd love a little more out of their offense, and occasionally we've seen it this year. But overall, this isn't a high-flying offense. Their defense is going to take them as far as they were going to go, and their defense was pretty impressive yesterday.
We had that Gene Steratore moment. Where's the index card? Where's something we can stick down there to see if it's a first down? I mean, it looks like a first down, and that's the thing about that orange stick. You move the orange stick just a little bit off of the 90-degree axis, and it's a first down. You move it the other way, and it's not a first down. And Mike, I know people around the league who are baffled by the fact that in this day and age, with all the technological advancements that are available, when it's time to determine the very important question of whether or not a team managed to consume 10 yards of field position in order to retain possession of the ball, that decision is determined by 2 orange sticks and 30 feet of chain link. That's the lowest tech. But the reason the NFL still does it, one of the big reasons, they love moments like that. The moments of pulling the stick, putting it down, the drama of whether or not the team got it, and every once in a while you get one of these crazy ones of did they get it or didn't they? But like you said, it wouldn't have mattered because replay review would have moved the ball. It's obvious when you watch that angle. The ball, the helmet doesn't matter. The rest of the player doesn't matter. Shoulder pad over the 10-yard line doesn't matter. The ball never got close to the 10-yard line, and it was clear that the stick was on the other side of the 10. So that wasn't going to be a first down, but it was still fun to have that 20 seconds of chaos as they tried to figure out what was going on.
Listen, I agree because I'm with you. How many people talk about it with technology? How do we not have another way of deciding it's a first down? But I'm with you. Running the chains out. Everybody's watching. So I still think there's a moment. To me, the most ridiculous thing about a ref seeing if it's a first down or where they put it is the quarterback sneak or a running play in the end zone. We saw it with Ben Roethlisberger the second time when he got in. Literally, the play is over. The referees are running in and digging through the pile. Imagine what can happen if you're on the ground. Just scooch forward and have the ball over the goal line by the time the refs get there, dig through the pile of players, and then 15 seconds after the player's over, they look at each other and they go, yeah, what the hell, touchdown. You crossed the line. I mean, it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. So I get the drama of the first down and the change, even though you think modern technology can take care of that. But I don't think I'm ever going to get used to, was it a touchdown or not? Let's wait for 15 seconds while we dig through this pile of humanity where everybody can move underneath the pile, while the refs are running in to give yourself a touchdown.
At least on the Joe Haden stop, we were able to see it. You're right. We get these scrums, and I think it's funny to observe the politics of the officiating crew. You get a sense of where the personalities are prioritized when you see the head linesman on one side of the field and the side judge on the other, and they're in 2 different spots at the end of the play, and you see them approach each other. Who yields to the other one? One of them moves. Sometimes they meet in the middle, but you see them coming in, and there will be very different spots because you watch them as they come in horizontally, folks. That's where they believe the ball is, and they'll be watching their partner on the other side, and it's not always a mirror image, and sometimes you'll see that movement toward the middle, but they don't know. They just don't know. And if you would have the ball completely covered in some sort of technological mapping capability where you would know exactly where the ball is in relation to the field. We see it in tennis. We see it in other sports. Then it wouldn't be a question, but that would take some of this chaos and fun out of it. Let's hear from Joe Haden real quickly on making the play that preserved the victory that moved the Pittsburgh Steelers to 7-6-1.
We were in a man-to-man call. So when my receiver ran in, I thought he was setting a pick play for the inside receiver to run a wheel route. So I was expecting him to throw the ball, but I had my heels on the first down marker, so I was just sliding inside. And then we threw it to him. I just knew if I tackled him and made him go backwards instead of forwards, there was no way he was going to be able to get the first down.
That's the key, knowing where the sticks are and keeping the guy behind it. Earlier in the drive, D'Onta Foreman coming back after suffering an ankle injury that looked like he was done for the day. 3 plays later, he came back, and they had him behind the sticks, and he kept driving, and he kept charging, and he got the first down. So Joe Haden even more aware of the importance of getting the guy behind the sticks and keeping him behind the sticks. It was a great play by him, and thank goodness it was just the two of them so we could see without any dispute where the football was, Mike.
Oh, yeah, there was no doubt where it was. And how refreshing to hear my feet. I was on the line. The awareness is so important because how many times do you see a defender playing back past the first down marker, and you're essentially giving them the first down? I mean, I loved hearing that. I mean, I knew where my feet were, so if he's getting past me, it's a first down. So basically my job is keep my feet on the first down line and go forward, and he's not getting the first down. That was great to hear, and unfortunately just not done enough.
And it's almost confusing that he's on the same team as the receiver who got the first down and celebrated and wondered why they were trying to get the ball from him, and 14 seconds elapsed 10 days earlier when they lost to the Vikings eventually. Let's go ahead and take a break. Well, let me mention a couple other things because we do need to give some credit to some folks who had some significant accomplishments yesterday. T.J. Watt now has 17.5 sacks on the season, which set the Steelers' franchise single-season record, breaking the record that had been held by James Harrison. So that was a big moment for T.J. Watt, who really is doing special things, and he is racking up a ton of sacks at an historic pace early in his career. And Ben Roethlisberger, late in his career, passes up Phillip Rivers for 5th place on the all-time passing yardage list. That happened fairly early in the game because it only took 27 yards to get there. But Roethlisberger currently number 5. He's got to worry about Matt Ryan, who'll get there in a year or two if Ryan keeps playing, and I assume he will. But for Roethlisberger to retire this year, as he presumably will, number 5 overall in passing yardage, it's a heck of an accomplishment for a guy that's also got a couple of Super Bowl rings, Mike.
Yeah, what a class, too. Him and Rivers and Eli Manning, what they were able to accomplish. We talk about first-round quarterbacks and that group, they're kind of tied together for all time, and you certainly don't hit that kind of percentage for sure. You see way more bust than these are 3 guys, 3 Hall of Fame guys. Is pretty impressive coming out of this group. And with T.J. Watt, listen, Micah Parsons deserves all the talk that he's getting. But if T.J. Watt isn't the Defensive Player of the Year right now, right? I mean, that would be where I would lean. I know Micah Parsons should certainly get some love for that. He's going to be the Defensive Rookie of the Year without question, and should be right in the team picture for Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe win it. We'll have to wait and see. But T.J. Watt and what he's doing, and again, it's not all just about sacks. We just talked about the play against Baltimore, and Baltimore tried the 2-pointer of him not getting sucked down on the play action and staying where he should. Just a great player right now that could be right at the top of his game of any defensive player in the league right now.
And look, there's 3 games left, okay? He came back from a groin injury that he suffered against the Vikings. And there were questions about whether or not he was going to play. And he looked a little banged up at the end yesterday. But there's 3 games left, and he's got 17.5. He's 5 short of the record. I mean, we've seen guys go off and have 5 sacks in 3 games. We've seen guys have, 4 or 5 sacks in 1 game. When Jared Allen made his push for the record late in the 2011 season, there was a game, I think maybe against the Bears late in the season, where he just went nuts and almost caught Michael Strahan's record. So TJ Watt still has a chance to become the all-time single-season sack leader, and that would probably cement Defensive Player of the Year for him if he did it.
And maybe if he's close, he'll get a quarterback to slide in front of him, and
that's right.
give him an easy
You
sack
never know.
to help get the record.
You never know when a quarterback's going to call that audible, roll out to the right, while the other 10 guys on his team look at him and say, "What the hell are you doing, Brett?" and give him that sack. That would be fitting. That would be poetic if it ultimately happens.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.